Let's talk about the one thing in every academic paper that feels like a total chore: citations. What if I told you that the most frustrating part of writing could actually become your greatest strength? Seriously. Today, we're going to transform citations from this tedious last-minute task into a genuine academic superpower. This is about more than just dodging red marks from your professor. It's about proving you belong in the scholarly world. Oh, you know this feeling. We've all been there for sure. You pour your heart into a paper, you know the ideas are solid, and then you get it back, and your grade has dropped because of a misplaced comma or a forgotten page number. It is just so frustrating. But believe it or not, those tiny details matter way more than you think. And that brings us to what I call the citation headache. I mean, why does this one little part of the process cause so much stress and anxiety? It can really feel like you're trying to learn a bunch of random, arbitrary rules that were designed just to trip you up. But here's the good news. Most of these mistakes are super easy to avoid once you know what you're doing. Because, look, this isn't about following rules just for the sake of following rules. Good citation is literally the bedrock of academic integrity. It's how you show respect for other scholars, it's how you build your own credibility, and it's how you officially join the big academic conversation. And yeah, of course, it's how you avoid plagiarism, which can have really, really serious consequences. So let's zoom out for a second. This isn't just about protecting your grade. It's about building your reputation as a serious thinker. We're going to dig into the real reason we cite our sources, because its value goes way, way beyond the classroom.
So what is the big why behind citations? Well, it really boils down to four key things. First, and most obviously, you give credit where it's due. That's just basic academic honesty. Second, you're basically leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for your reader. If they love a point you made, your citation lets them go right to the source and learn more. Third, it lets them check your work, which actually makes your own argument that much stronger. And finally, it gives context. It shows where these ideas came from. See, it's not a chore. It's a service to your reader and to the whole scholarly community.
Okay, so we get the why. Now let's get into the what, the actual skills you need to weave evidence into your writing in a way that's powerful and effective. And this goes so much deeper than just formatting. Before you even type a single word, you need to be thinking in two different modes. First, there's analysis. Think of this like being a mechanic. You're taking one source, one text, and you're taking it apart to see how all the little pieces work. But then there's synthesis, and this is where the magic happens. Synthesis is when you take ideas from multiple sources and you start connecting the dots to see a bigger pattern, or maybe even to create a totally new idea. That's what top-tier academic writing is all about. So to do that, you've got three main tools in your kit. First, you can quote. You use the source's exact words when they're just too perfect or powerful to change. Then you can paraphrase. This is great for taking a specific idea and blending it smoothly into your own sentence. And finally, you can summarize, which is where you boil down the main argument of a whole article or book into just a sentence or two. Knowing which tool to use and when is the whole game. Now, how do you actually build a paragraph around this evidence? I want you to remember this awesome acronym, the meal plan. You start with your M, main idea, your point, in your voice. Then bring in the E, evidence from your source. Now, here's the most important step, analysis. You have to explain why that evidence matters and how it proves your main point. This is what separates great writing from just a list of facts. Finally, you L out, wrapping up the point and setting up a smooth transition to your next paragraph. All right, enough theory. Let's get practical. We're going to do a rapid-fire round of the most common mistakes that cost students points and credibility, and I'll show you just how easy they are to fix. You ready? Let's do it. First up, mixing your styles. You know, you use APA for an in-text citation, but then you accidentally format your bibliography in MLA. Oops! The fix? It's so simple. Just pick one style at the very start of your project. APA, MLA, Chicago, whatever your professor wants, and just stick with it. Consistency is key. Next up, the missing page number. Listen, if you are using a direct word-for-word quote from a source, you absolutely, positively must include the page number. This is a non-negotiable rule in almost every style. It's how you prove to your reader exactly where you found that amazing sentence. It's a tiny detail, but skipping it makes you look sloppy. Okay, now for a really big one, bad paraphrasing. So many people fall into this trap. Plagiarism isn't just copying and pasting. Look at that middle example. All they did was swap out found for discovered. That's not a paraphrase. That's just using a thesaurus, and it's still plagiarism. A real paraphrase means you have to completely rephrase the idea, using your own words and your own sentence structure.
It shows you actually understand the idea. And yeah, you still have to cite it. So we've gone through the problems and the fixes. Now I want to completely reframe this. Getting your citations right isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's not a weakness you have to cover up. It is a sign of your strength. It is your academic superpower. So how do you activate this superpower? You use a system. It's 3 easy steps. First, get the right tools. Don't try to do this from memory. Use a good citation generator and keep a style guide like the Purdue OWL open in a tab at all times. Second, build good habits. The second you find a source you might use, grab all the info. Cite while you write, don't save it for the end. And third, have a dedicated proofreading process just for citations. Run through a quick checklist before you hit submit. It'll save you. And that really is the ultimate takeaway here. This is not about fear of punishment. It's about confidence. When your citations are perfect, you're sending a powerful message. You're telling your reader, I've done the work, my argument is solid, and I am ready to contribute to this conversation. Now that is a statement. So I'll just leave you with this. The next time you're working on that bibliography, don't think of it as a boring chore. Think of it as putting on your uniform. You are signaling to everyone that you are a credible, confident scholar, and you are ready to take your seat at the table.